जब एक बार गुस्सा आएगा सब छोड़ छाड़ के निकल जाएगा।
The root locus is defined as the locus of closed loop poles. The locus of closed loop poles obtained when system gain K is varied from 0 to infinity. When system gain K is varied from 0 to infinity. Abhi idhar suno, this introduction is important. Suppose this is the open loop transfer function of a system given K by S. What is root locus? It is the locus of closed loop poles. Closed loop poles means 1 plus GSH is equal to 0. 1 plus K by S equal to 0. So this is where the closed loop pole is lying. So root locus is nothing but we are varying the gain and observing how this closed loop pole is changing its location in S plane. We are varying the gain from 0 to infinity. How is this pole moving? It is coming to minus 10, minus 100 and it is terminating at minus infinity. So when the value of K is 0, the pole is at origin. As this K is increasing from 0 to infinity, this pole is coming to minus 1, minus 2, minus 10, minus 100 and it is terminating at minus infinity. Wherever this pole is moving, you join all those points. I am joining all these points. In this direction, the pole is moving. Now this locus, we call it as root locus. What is the information, what is the inference that you draw out of root locus plots? The information and the inference that you draw out of root locus plots is the relative stability of a system. Root locus plots determine relatively whether the system is becoming more stable or whether the system is becoming less stable. With respect to what? With respect to variations in the gain K. For this example, when the gain is varied from 0 to infinity, this pole is terminating at minus infinity, which means the system is becoming relatively more stable. Because we have seen as the pole moves more in the left side of its plane, it becomes relatively more stable. So the information that you draw out of root locus plots is about the relative stability of a system. Now this is the general method of drawing root locus plot. The difficulty with this conventional approach is, suppose if we have two more poles like this, S plus 2 and S plus 4. What will be the order of the characteristic equation? 3, which means you will get 3 roots. You have to put K0 and find the roots. 1, 2, 3 roots you need. You have to put K1, find the roots. You have to put K10 to find the roots. Like that, minimum of 100 to 200 values of K you have to take. Then only a proper shape of the locus you can plot. That means for different values of K, 100 to 200 times you have to factorize the polynomial. and mark all the points and join them. And whatever locus you get, that locus we call it as root locus. Is this a feasible approach? This method of drawing root locus, therefore we say, is not a feasible approach. Therefore, for drawing root locus plots, there is a set of construction rules. There is a set of construction rules. Now these set of construction rules of root locus are framed for the characteristic equation only, but this characteristic equation 1 plus GSH is equal to 0 is expressed as GSH is equal to minus 1. So these rules of root locus construction are framed for this representation of characteristic equation. The advantage is when an open loop transfer function is given, there is no need for you to take a closed loop transfer function. There is no need for you to construct any characteristic equation. You can apply the set of rules directly to open loop transfer function. When you are applying the rules to open loop transfer function, you will be talking in terms of open loop poles and open loop zeros only when you are applying the rules. But whatever final shape of the root locus that you get, root locus means it is the movement of closed loop poles only. So the advantage of defining the rules of root locus construction for G of S, H of S equal to minus 1. The advantage is all the rules you can apply directly to what transfer function? Open loop transfer function. When you are applying the rules, you will be talking in terms of open loop poles and open loop zeros only. But जो भी final shape of the root locus that you draw, at the end you will be drawing one locus shape. That shape of the locus, root locus means that locus shape is valid only for closed loop, because analysis is applicable only for closed loop systems. ये कैसा है? I will show with examples when we proceed in this topic. Is this clear? By applying the rules to open loop transfer function, we only get certain shapes of the locus diagrams. Finally, a shape you will be drawing directly. Say for example, I have drawn this shape. By applying the rules to open loop transfer function, this is the shape I have drawn. ये shape का मतलब क्या? As this gain value is increasing from 0 to infinity, one closed loop pole is moving along this path like this. Another closed loop pole is moving along this path like this. ये इसका मतलब है. Such kind of shapes you will be drawing finally. Every shape of the locus must and should satisfy an important condition called as angle condition. A must and should have. Every shape of the locus should satisfy an important condition called as angle condition. When you apply the rules to open loop transfer function and when you draw final shapes of the locus diagrams like this, no doubt by default this angle condition will be satisfied. Yet by default. But if you have any doubts regarding the validity of the shape of the locus, then you can always check the shape whatever we have drawn is valid or not by using angle condition. Because angle condition has to be satisfied. It is compulsory. What is this angle condition? You choose a point on the locus. On the locus you choose a point and evaluate the angle at that point. If angle at that point on the locus satisfies angle condition, it means the shape of the locus is correct. It means the shape of the locus is correct. Now angle condition, if you observe, is not only used for checking whether the root locus is valid or not. It is not only used for that. When I take a point on the locus and when I apply angle condition at that point, we say, and if the angle condition is satisfied, we say the shape of the locus is correct. इसका दूसरा मतलब क्या है? ये point root locus पे lie कर रहा है. इसका दूसरा meaning क्या है? This point is lying on root locus. So ये जो angle condition है, it is not only used for checking whether any point, whether the shape of the locus is valid or not. The angle condition can also be used for checking whether any point lies on root locus or not. So if you want to check whether any point is lying on root locus or not, you can always verify that point by applying angle condition. Second condition we have in root locus is called as magnitude condition. You see, we will be directly drawing the shapes of the locus like this. Now I don't know at this point when the root is there or when the pole is there, at this point what is the value of k, I don't know, because I will be only drawing the shape of the locus. So at any point on the locus, if you want to calculate the value of k, then we have to use the second condition, which is called as magnitude condition. Is this introduction clear? Huh? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now you tell me, to draw the root locus shape, do you require a closed loop transfer function or characteristic equation, or do you require an open loop transfer function? Why? Because rules are framed for GSH is equal to -1. Here reason है. You are applying the rules to open loop transfer function. And when you are applying, you are talking in terms of open loop poles and open loop zeros only. But क्या ये जो फाइनल शेप ऑफ द लोकस है, ये क्या ओपन लूप पोल्स के लिए है या क्लोज लूप पोल्स के लिए? दिस इज फॉर क्लोज लूप पोल्स. एनालिसिस इज फॉर क्लोज लूप सिस्टम ओनली. ये क्यों है, कैसा है, आई विल शो यू. As an example, I will show as we proceed. Every shape of the locus must and should satisfy an important condition. What is this condition? The angle condition. What is this angle condition? You choose a point on the locus. If you evaluate angle at that point and the angle at that point satisfies angle condition, it means two things. Shape is correct. Second, the point is lying on root locus. So angle condition is used for both ways. Now to find the value of system gain at any point on the locus, then we use the second condition called as magnitude condition. समझ में आया? Right. Next sentence. The root locus determines relative stability of a system. The root locus determines relative stability of the system. Next, angle and magnitude conditions. Next subheading. Angle and magnitude conditions. Angle and magnitude conditions. The angle condition is used. The angle condition is used for checking whether the angle condition is used for checking whether certain points lie on root locus or not. Certain points lie on root locus or not, and hence the validity of root locus shape, for closed loop poles. Now listen here. G of s, h of s is equal to -1. -1 means it is -1 plus j0. What is the angle of G of s, h of s? Angle of G of s, h of s is, you can't take directly tan inverse 0 by -1. This is pi, that is 180 minus tan inverse of imaginary by real. The angle is how much? 180. If you look at this point minus 1, this is that point minus 1. In polar coordinates, all positive angles we show in anti-clockwise direction, all negative angles we show in clockwise direction, which means this angle is plus 90, this angle is plus 180, this angle is minus 90, this angle will be minus 180, which means points lying on this axis will have an angle of 180, which is generalized as plus or minus of 180. Now, I want series of angles at this point. Now I am standing at minus 1. पहला angle क्या है? 180. What is the first angle? 180. If I travel in clockwise, I have to take negatively. If I travel in anti-clockwise, I have to take positive. Now I am here. Again, if I want to come here, I have to travel all the quadrants and come back. Again to the same point. तो अभी मैं यहाँ पे हूँ, यहाँ पे एंगल कितना है? 180 है. 180 plus 90 कितना हुआ? Plus 90 plus 90 450 plus 90 कितना हुआ? पहला एंगल 180 है. सेकेंड टाइम अगर मैं यहाँ पे आया तो एंगल कितना है? 540 का मतलब 180 into 3. 540 का मतलब क्या? 180 into 3. फर्स्ट एंगल 180 है. 180 का मतलब क्या? 180 into 1. सेकेंड एंगल कितना है? 180 into 3. अब फिर से अगर मैं एक क्वाड्रेंट ट्रैवल करके आया तो 180 into 5. So this we generalize as plus or minus of 2q plus 1 into 180. 2n plus 1 और 2q plus 1 क्या है? Odd number series. So the angle condition may be stated as, for a point to lie on root locus, the angle evaluated at that point should be an odd multiple of 180, either plus or minus. This condition we call it as angle condition. Suppose ये अगर plus 1 है, ये क्या है ये? Plus 1. Plus 1 बोले तो that point will be lying on this axis. ये एक्सिस पे एंगल कितना है? 0. तो पहला एंगल 0 है. 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. सेकेंड एंगल क्या है? 360. 360 का मतलब 2q into 180. अगर प्लस 1 है, इवन मल्टीपल्स ऑफ 180. अगर माइनस 1 है तो ऑड मल्टीपल्स ऑफ 180. ये प्लस 1 के बारे में हम बाद में बात करेंगे. अभी हम माइनस 1 तो negative feedback systems only we are talking. Plus 1 means positive feedback systems. Angle condition may be stated as inverted commas you have to write. For a point to lie on root locus, for a point to lie on root locus, the angle evaluated at that point, the angle evaluated at that point must be an odd multiple of plus or minus of 180 degrees. An odd multiple of plus or minus of 180 degrees. Next, magnitude condition. Next one is magnitude condition. finding the value of, it is used for finding the value of system gain K it is used for finding the value of system gain K at any point on root locus. At any point on root locus. So you see, what is the magnitude of G of S, H of S? Magnitude of this will be root of -1 square plus 0 square is 1. So this condition, magnitude of G of S, H of S is 1. This condition we call it as magnitude condition. So we use this condition for finding the value of K. So before we discuss about the construction rules of root locus, we will take some examples of how to apply this angle condition and magnitude condition. Take out chapter 5 and keep your calculators outside.
थोड़ा एंगल कंडीशन दिख रही है.
So chapter 5, question number 4. 2 points are given, -3 plus J4, -3 minus J2. And this is the open loop transfer function given K by S plus 1 to the power 4. Now the question is, we have to check which point is lying on root locus, whether both the points are lying or any one point is lying or both the points are not lying. So to check whether any point lies on root locus or not, what is the condition we have to use? Angle condition. First, take the first point, G of S, H of S, at S equal to S1 equal to -3 plus J4. This will become K by, substitute that point first, -3 plus J4 plus 1 to the power 4. This will become K plus J0 -2 plus J4 to the power 4. K plus J0, the angle will be directly 0. This angle you have to find. You cannot directly write tan inverse imaginary by real because a second quadrant points है. So if you know अगर second quadrant में, third quadrant में, fourth quadrant में कैसा angles how to find, if you know, you can use tan inverse formula. Otherwise, simply convert from rectangular to polar. Convert and tell me what is that. Calculators लेके आना. आप तो भी करो. करके एंगल क्या है बताओ. 116. 116.656. 116.56 is the angle. to the power 4. Angles will get added, magnitudes will get multiplied and divided. To the power 4 का मतलब क्या? Into 4 times the angle. कितना? Minus 466.24. This is the angle. Now you take the second point. G of S, H of S at S equal to S2 minus 3 minus J2. Substitute the point first. K by minus 3 minus J2 plus 1 to the power 4. This becomes what? K plus J0 minus 2 minus J2 to the power 4. This angle is 0. What is this angle? Minus 2 minus J2. Minus 135. Minus 135 is the angle. Into 4. This will become plus 540. अब ये दो एंगल्स में odd multiple of 180 कौन सा है? First one या second one? हाँ? Therefore, the answer for this problem is S2 is lying on root locus, but not S1. The answer. Finished? Now look at question number 5. Is it over?
Yes, sir.
If you look at question number 5, we have to find the gain K for which minus 1 plus J1 lies on root locus. So it is already given that minus 1 plus J1 is lying on root locus, and at that point you have to find the value of gain. However, we will also apply angle condition. So it is not required, we will apply. So what is the point given? S equal to minus 1 plus J1. What is the open loop transfer function given?
Yes.
K by S into S square plus 7S plus 12. First, substitute the point in the open loop transfer function. G of s at s equal to minus 1 plus j1 will be k by minus 1 plus j1 minus 1 plus j1 whole square 7 into minus 1 plus j1 plus 12. This gets reduced to k plus j0 minus 1 plus j1 5 plus j5. Now you find what is the angle of this open loop transfer function at minus 1 plus j1. This is 0. R to B you have to do 135 and this is 45. What is the total angle? Which means this point is lying on root locus. Magnitude of this open loop transfer function at this point equate to 1. This is called as magnitude condition. What is magnitude? Root of k square 0 square root of minus 1 square 1 square root of 5 square equal to 1. This will become k by root 2 into root 15 equal to 1. K is root of 100, which means the value of k at this point is 10. This is the answer. This is how we have to apply angle condition and magnitude condition. The open loop transfer function of a unity feedback system. The open loop transfer function of a unity feedback system. G of s is equal to the open loop transfer function of a unity feedback system is G of s equal to n by s into s plus 1 into s plus 3. A 0 is added to this system. A 0 is added to this system so that the root locus passes through a point. 0 is added to the system so that the root locus passes through a point minus 1 plus j. Minus 1 plus j. The value of 0 is minus 1.3, minus 2.3, minus 1.6, 2.6. So the open loop transfer function of a system is given. To this system, a 0 is added so that the root locus of this problem will pass through a point minus 1 plus j. We have to find what is the location of that 0. When you say root locus is passing through this point, it means this point should lie on root locus. Yes or no? So let us verify. For what value of 0, this point will lie on root locus. So let us take one 0 first. It is 10 into s plus z1 divided by s into s plus 1 into s plus 3. Substitute the point which is minus 1 plus j in this function. This will become minus 1 plus j plus z divided by minus 1 plus j minus 1 plus j plus 1 minus 1 plus j plus 3. Find what is the angle of this open loop transfer function at this point. Angle of 10 will become 0. What is this angle? This, if you simplify, this will become 10 plus j0. This will be z minus 1 plus j. This will be minus 1 plus j and 0 plus j and 2 plus j. Find the angle now. This angle is how much? This is tan inverse of imaginary by real. What is this angle? Minus 1 plus j? 135. 0 plus j? 90. 2 plus j? 26.56. This is the angle. So what is the total angle? Total angle is, what is the total of this? Minus 251.56 plus tan inverse of 1 by z minus 1. Now this angle should be equal to how much? An odd multiple of 180. This is the angle condition. Tan inverse of 1 by z minus 1 is equal to how much? 180 plus 251.56. So tan inverse of 1 by z minus 1 is 431.56. What is 1 by z minus 1? It is tan of 431.56. Kitna? 1 by z minus 1 is 3. Calculate what is z value. By 3 बोले तो 1.6. What is the z value? 1.3. 4 by 3 na? 4 by 3 means 1.33. This is the z value, which means the 0 should lie at what value? Minus 1.3. This is the answer. Of root locus. Construction rules of root locus. Rule number 1. The root locus is symmetrical about real axis. The root locus is symmetrical about real axis. In brackets you write g of s, h of s equal to minus 1. Rule number 2. Rule number 2, let P equal to number of open loop poles, Z equal to number of open loop zeros, and P greater than Z. then the number of branches of root locus is P. The number of branches terminating at zeros is Z. The number of branches terminating at infinity, E minus Z. What is this? We will see. First, to write the rule. Rule number 3. Rule number 3. A point on real axis. A point on real axis is said to be on root locus. Is said to be on root locus if to the right side of this point the sum of open loop poles and zeros, the sum of open loop poles and zeros is odd, ODD, is odd. Now listen here. This rule number 3, it will help us to identify which portion, which section of real axis is a part of root locus. Real axis ka which portion is a part of root locus. For example, suppose this is the open loop transfer function given. It is k by s into s plus 2, s plus 4, s plus 6, s plus 8. If you apply rule number 2, P is 3, Z is 2, P minus Z is 1. The root locus of this problem will have 3 branches. Out of the 3 branches, 2 branches will terminate at zeros. 1 branch will terminate at infinity, according to this rule number 2. What is this? We will see now. Now, rule number 3, it will help us to identify which portion of real axis, which path of real axis is root locus. So, to apply rule number 3, you have to first plot the poles and zeros. We have a pole at origin, we have a 0 at minus 2, pole at minus 4, 0 at minus 6, pole at minus 8. This third rule says a point on real axis is said to be on root locus if to the right side of the point the sum of poles and zeros is odd. Suppose I choose a point between 0 and minus 2. अभी a point के right side पे कितने poles और zeros है? इसका मतलब this entire section of real axis is a part of root locus. If I choose a point between minus 2 and minus 4, अब इसके ये point के right side पे कितने poles और zeros है? इसका मतलब this is not a part of root locus. if I choose a point between -4 and -6, ये point के right side पे कितने poles और zeros हैं? इसका मतलब this entire section of real axis is a part of root locus. And -6 to -8, it is not a part of root locus. Again, -8 to -infinity, this entire section of real axis is a part of root locus. So rule number 3, we have come to a conclusion that only this portion and this portion of real axis is a part of root locus. This information rule number 3 will give you. Now, when I say ये root locus है, root locus का मतलब क्या? When you are varying the gain, pole is moving along that path, or wherever the pole moves, if you join all the points, that locus you call it as root locus. When I say that this section of real axis is root locus, इसका मतलब क्या? Pole is moving along these points, and which pole has to move? This pole only has to. Pole तो यहाँ पे है, origin पे, यही pole move होना है यहाँ पे. Yes or no?
Yes.
So when you are varying the gain, this pole is moving along this path like this. When this pole is moving left side, how is this pole at -4 moving? Left side or right side? How do you know it is left side? क्योंकि root locus left side पे है, तो ये this is moving in this direction. जब ये दो poles ऐसा left side move हो रहे हैं, तो ये pole at -8, how is it moving? Left side or right side? ऐसा मालूम? क्योंकि root locus is existing in left side. Now if you observe, as you are further varying the gain, this pole is coming up to -2. This pole is coming up to -2. Is it going beyond -2? How do you know? No root locus is present. Similarly, this pole is coming up to -6. Is it going beyond -6? How do we know? No root locus is existing there. What about this pole at -8? Terminating at -8. And if you observe, at -2 and -6, what are we having? Which means, when you vary the gain of the system, poles will be moving in S-plane. And when these poles are moving in S-plane, they will come and terminate either at zeros or they go and terminate at infinity. So as the gain is varied, poles will be moving in S-plane, and when these poles are moving, they will come and terminate either at zeros or they go and terminate at infinity. Number of branches of root locus is 3. 1, 2, 3. Number of branches terminating at zeros is 2. 1, 2. Number of branches terminating at infinity is 1. One branch is terminating at infinity. समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
इधर सुनो. ये जो रेड लाइन है, we are calling it as root locus. Root locus का मतलब क्या? Movement of closed loop poles. Root locus का मतलब क्या? Movement of closed loop poles. If you look at this root, ये final root locus है ये problem का. तो ये जो रेड लाइन है, it is movement of closed loop poles हम कह रहे हैं. जो भी फाइनल शेप हमारा होगा, वो क्या है? Movement of closed loop poles हम कह रहे हैं. Yes or no? But if you look at this root locus, it appears that ये जो open loop poles है, ये move हो रहे हैं, and they are terminating at open loop zeros. ऐसा दिख रहा है यहाँ पे. Yes or no? क्योंकि हमने रूल्स तो सिर्फ ओपन लूप ट्रांसफर फंक्शन को अप्लाई किया. हम ये कह रहे हैं जो भी हमारा फाइनल शेप ऑफ द लोकस होगा वो क्लोज लूप सिस्टम के लिए है. ये क्लोज लूप पोल्स का मूवमेंट है, ये हम कह रहे हैं. करेक्ट? अब देखो, इसका क्लोज लूप ट्रांसफर फंक्शन विल बिकम व्हाट? द क्लोज लूप ट्रांसफर फंक्शन ऑफ दिस सिस्टम विल बिकम g of s by 1 plus g of s. G of s by 1 plus g of s. it is k into s plus 2 into s plus 6 by s into s plus 4 into s plus 8 by 1 plus k into s plus 2 into s plus 6 by s into s plus 4 into s plus 8. This will become k into s plus 2 into s plus 6 by s into s plus 4 into s plus 8 plus k into s plus 2 into s plus 6. ये क्लोज लूप ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है, ये क्लोज लूप जीरोस है और ये क्लोज लूप पोल्स है. ये जो रेड लाइन है ये मूवमेंट ऑफ दीज पोल्स है. ये रेड लाइन क्या है? मूवमेंट ऑफ क्लोज लूप पोल्स है. जो भी हमारा फाइनल शेप ऑफ द लोकस है, इट इज द मूवमेंट ऑफ क्लोज लूप पोल्स है. Where are the closed loop poles lying? Closed loop poles are lying at s into s plus 4 into s plus 8 plus k into s plus 2 into s plus 6. ये closed loop poles है. ये जो red line है, it is the movement of these poles. Now you observe when k is 0. ये closed loop poles कहाँ पे है? s into s plus 4 into s plus 8 equal to 0. कहाँ पे है? 0 minus 4 and देखो आप 0 minus 4 and अब k को हम बढ़ा रहे हैं. Put k1. Put k1 here. ये थर्ड ऑर्डर इक्वेशन बनेगा. Yes or no? जब इसके तीन रूट्स आएंगे, ये तीन रूट्स किधर आएंगे? एक 0 और -2 के बीच में एक रूट आएगा, -4 और -6 के बीच में एक रूट आएगा, -8 और -∞. जैसा हम ये गेन बढ़ा रहे हैं, ये गेन, as you are increasing this gain, these closed loop poles are moving in this fashion. And when these closed loop poles are moving in this fashion, they are going and terminating either at zeros or समझ में आया? You are applying the rules to open loop transfer function. When you are applying the rules, you are talking in terms of open loop poles and open loop zeros only. But whatever final shape of the root locus that you draw, root locus का मतलब it is the movement of closed loop poles. क्योंकि analysis जो है सिर्फ closed loop system के लिए ही applicable है. क्या समझ में आया? हाँ? जागो, 11 बज रहा, जागना जरूरी है. Rule number 4. Rule number 4. Angle of asymptotes. Rule number 4 is angle of asymptotes. So you see how many branches are terminating to infinity? Unlike e minus z. How many branches are terminating to infinity? These p minus z branches will terminate to infinity along certain straight lines known as asymptotes of root locus. The shape of the root locus will depend on the angle of asymptotes. Right? The p minus z branches, terminate P minus Z branches terminate at infinity along certain straight lines. Along certain straight lines known as asymptotes of root locus. Asymptotes of root locus. Therefore, next sentence. Number of asymptotes is equal to E minus Z. Therefore, number of asymptotes is equal to E minus Z. Now, these asymptote angles are given by the relation 2q plus 1 into 180 degrees divided by E minus Z, where q takes the values 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. For example, if P minus Z is 2, theta 1 will become 2 into 0 plus 1 into 180 by 2 is 90. It is 2 into 1 plus 1 into 180 by 2, 270. Similarly, if you look at question number 6, this is the characteristic equation given. S square plus 2s plus s plus k into s plus 1. Now, to apply the rules of root locus construction, do you require a characteristic equation like this, or do you require a closed loop transfer function, or do you require open loop transfer function? All the rules are applicable only for open loop. But final shape of the root locus is for? You understand? The procedure for finding open loop transfer function from a characteristic equation is, you have to take out whatever function before k common and compare this with 1 plus GSH is equal to 0. So the open loop transfer function of this will become k into s plus 1, s square into s plus 4 into s plus 3. So if you apply rule number 2, P is 4, Z is 1, P minus Z is 3. So P minus Z 3 means 2 into 0 plus 1 into 180 by 3 is 60. 2 into 1 plus 1 into 180 by 3 is 180. 2 into 2 plus 1 into 180 by 3, 300. So this is how you have to find the asymptote angles. And these root locus branches, they will go either on the asymptotes or they will go parallel to the asymptotes. So the shape of the locus will depend on these angles. angle of asymptotes, whatever we have calculated, a positive and negative angle. All positive angles on an S-plane you have to show in anti-clockwise direction. So all these asymptotes you have to show in, you have to draw in anti-clockwise direction. Another thing is, what is the angle between the asymptotes here? यहाँ पे first case में, the angle between the asymptotes कितना है? 180. Second case में 120. Yes or no? So, angle between the asymptotes, is given by 2 pi into P minus Z. Now you verify this for the first case. In the first case, what is P minus Z? In the first case. Huh? What is the angle between the asymptotes? Pi. Pi means 180 degrees. Verify for the second case. यहाँ पे कितना है angle between the asymptotes कितना है? 120 है. 2 into 180 by 3. 60 into 2 is 120. So angle between the asymptotes is given by the relation 2 pi by P minus Z. Rule number 5. Rule number 5 is centroid. Rule number 5 is centroid. It is the intersection point. Intersection point of the asymptotes. It is the intersection point of the asymptotes on the real axis. On the real axis. It may or may not be. It may or may not be part of root locus. May or may not be a part of root locus. So you see, all these asymptotes you have to draw from a common point on the real axis, and this common point we call it as centroid. This centroid may be on the root locus, may not. We are not bothered about it. So the centroid point is located as, this is located as sigma of real part of open loop poles, sigma of real part of open loop zeros divided by P minus Z. For example, this is the characteristic equation given: S cube plus 5s square plus k plus 6 into s plus k equal to 0. So we have to find the meeting point of the asymptotes. The meeting point of the asymptotes is nothing but centroid. 6s plus ks plus k equal to 0, 5s square plus 6s plus k into s plus 1. whatever function you have before k, you take that out common. It is s cube, 5s square, 6s. Compare this with 1 plus g of s h of s equal to 0. So the open loop transfer function of this characteristic equation will become k into s plus 1 by s square plus 5s plus 6, which is k into s plus 1 by s plus 2 into s plus 5. So we have P3, Z1, P minus Z is 2. The meeting point of asymptotes is centroid, you have to calculate. This plus 3. So meeting point of asymptotes is centroid, you have to calculate. We have poles at 0, minus 2, minus 3. The imaginary parts are 0. And we have a 0 at minus 1, the imaginary part is 0. Sigma of real part of poles is minus 5. Sigma of real part of zeros is minus 1. Therefore, the centroid is located as minus 5 minus of minus 1 divided by 2. So the coordinates of centroid are 2 comma minus 2 comma. So from this point we have to draw the asymptotes. Rule number 6. Breakaway points. Rule number 6 is breakaway points. They are those points. They are those points where multiple routes of the characteristic equation occur. They are those points where multiple roots of the characteristic equation occur. So listen here. Don't draw anything, just listen here. Suppose this is the pole locations. Which section of real axis is a part of root locus in this example? 0 to minus 2 and minus 4 to minus 3, which means this pole will go along this path. When you get a root locus between the poles, it means both the poles will be moving towards each other, because this is the root locus. So both have to move towards each other. So when both the poles are moving towards each other, at a point they come and meet and they form multiple roots at that point. Such points are called as breakaway points. There is a procedure for finding the breakaway points. First we will write what is that procedure is. After that, there are some general predictions about the breakaway points. What are these general predictions? We will see. So first we will write what is the procedure for finding the breakaway points. Procedure. The procedure is construct 1 plus GSHS equal to 0. Write K in terms of S. Find dk by ds equal to 0. The roots of dk by ds equal to 0 will give breakaway points. To test valid breakaway point, substitute in step 2. If K is positive, implies it is a valid breakaway. This is the procedure. Next, general predictions about breakaway points. General predictions about breakaway points. First one, the branches of root locus, either approach or leave the breakaway points, either approach or leave the breakaway points at an angle of plus or minus 180 degrees by n. where n is equal to number of branches approaching, where n is equal to number of branches approaching or leaving the breakaway point. Approaching or leaving the breakaway point. What is this? With an example I will show you. First you write. Second, the complex conjugate path for the branches of root locus approaching or leaving the breakaway point, leaving a breakaway point is a circle. This also we will see with an example. Third, whenever there are two adjacently placed poles, on the real axis, with the section of real axis between them, as root locus, then there exists a breakaway point. Between the adjacently placed poles. Now listen. Example to this general prediction number 3 is conventional question number 4. So we have to find the stability of first order and second order system with gain k. So this is the first order system. This is the representation I am taking with gain k by s. Output is C of s. Input is R of s. This is the loop. Now if you write the transfer function C of s by R of s, this will become k by s plus k. To draw root locus, do you require a closed loop transfer function or open loop transfer function? G of s into h of s. The open loop transfer function of this is k by s. So if you observe, there is only one pole, and this entire section of real axis between 0 to minus infinity is a part of root locus, rule number 3, which means this pole will terminate to infinity. This is the root locus. So you see, when you are varying the gain, ये जो closed loop pole है, it is terminating at minus infinity. What is happening to stability of the first order system with respect to k? गेन बढ़ाने से फर्स्ट ऑर्डर सिस्टम स्टेबिलिटी पे क्या असर हो रहा है? सिस्टम इज बिकमिंग रिलेटिवली मोर स्टेबल, क्योंकि ये जो पोल है इट इज टर्मिनेटिंग एट माइनस इंफिनिटी. नाउ आई एम टेकिंग second order system. Now this is the representation of second order system with gain k. K by, I am taking some value to draw the root locus. C of s, R of s. This is the representation I am taking. So if you observe, the closed loop transfer function of this will become C of s by R of s is equal to k by s square plus 2s plus k. This is the transfer function. Now to draw root locus, do you require a closed loop transfer function like this, or do you require an open loop transfer function? What is the open loop transfer function? G of s into h of s. So the open loop transfer function is k by s into s plus 2. P is 2, z is 0, p minus z is 2. Rule number 2. Rule number 3, which section of real axis is a part of root locus? So between 0 and minus 2 is a part of root locus. Rule number 4, the asymptote angles are 90 and 270, क्योंकि p minus z 2 है. Rule number 5, centroid, sigma of real part of both. इसका real part 0, इसका real part minus 2. 0 plus minus 2, there are no zeros. Centroid is lying at minus 1. Rule number 6, breakaway point. This prediction says whenever there are two adjacently placed poles with a section of real axis between them as root locus, 100% there will be one breakaway point. How to calculate this breakaway point? You construct the characteristic equation 2s plus k. Write k in terms of s. Solve dk by ds and equate to 0. Minus 2s minus 2. That means the breakaway point is lying at minus 1. So the breakaway point of this problem is now lying at minus 1. This is minus 2s minus 2, s equal to minus 1. This is the breakaway point. Now with this information, we are now drawing the root locus of this problem. So you see, we have a pole at origin. We have a pole at minus 2. Between 0 to minus 2, this section of real axis is a part of root locus. We have centroid at minus 1. From minus 1, we are drawing the asymptotes of 90 and 270. This pole will be moving in this direction. This pole will be moving in this direction. Both these poles will come and meet at what value? Minus 1. अब ये दो poles या minus 1 पे they are meeting. You understand? जब तक ये origin पे है या यहाँ पे है, real and unequal है, तब तक they are distinct poles है. You understand? ये देखो यहाँ पे distinct है, यहाँ पे भी distinct है, यहाँ पे भी distinct है. जब दोनों आके minus 1 पे मिल गए तो दोनों same हो गए. You understand? So now both the poles are here. Both the poles are having a value of minus 1. अब एक पोल 90 डिग्री asymptote से it will go to infinity like this. और दूसरा पोल minus 270 डिग्री asymptote से it will go to infinity. ये जो point है, this point is called as breakaway point. अब कंपेयर करो फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रूट लॉकस, सेकंड ऑर्डर रूट लॉकस. फर्स्ट ऑर्डर सिस्टम k by s है, इसका मतलब एक ही पोल है। जब एक ही पोल है, गेन बढ़ाने से सिस्टम हाईली स्टेबल होगा। Second order system, same k by s function, you have added one pole. You have added one pole. क्योंकि आप दो पोल हो गए यहाँ पे k by s है, यहाँ पे k by s into s plus 2 है। एक पोल हमने ऐड कर दिया। जब एक पोल ऐड कर दिया तो ये जो रूट लोकस है, जो माइनस इंफिनिटी के तरफ जा रहा था, this entire root locus is now pushed nearer to imaginary axis. पोल्स जो है which were now this was terminating to minus infinity, अब ये दो पोल्स they are nearer to imaginary axis. इसका मतलब स्टेबिलिटी क्या हुआ? डिक्रीज। स्टेबिलिटी गॉट। इसका मतलब सिस्टम्स में अगर हम पोल ऐड करें, स्टेबिलिटी पे क्या असर होगा? स्टेबिलिटी विल रिड्यूस। और रूट लोकस के शेप में क्या असर होगा? क्या रूट लोकस लेफ्ट साइड जाएगा या राइट साइड आएगा? You see, the entire locus has now come nearer to imaginary axis. Root locus has shifted right side. You understand? Now we will understand this point more clearly by taking a third order system. So if you look at this function, this was the second order system, k by s into s plus 2. I am adding one more pole. So now I am trying to learn what is the effect of adding poles to a transfer function of a system. What is rule number 2? P is 3, Z is 0, P minus Z is 3. Which section of real axis is a part of root locus? You get this information from rule number 3. So between 0 to minus 2 is a part of root locus. Between minus 4 to minus infinity is a part of root locus. What is rule number 4? Asymptotes 60, 180 and 300. What is rule number 5? Centroid. Sigma of real part of poles. Real part of zeros, P minus Z. Minus 2. Rule number 6 is breakaway point. Whenever you have two adjacently placed poles with a section of real axis as root locus, 100% there will be one breakaway point. How to find? Construct the characteristic equation. 6s square, 8s plus k. Write k in terms of s. Minus 8s. Solve dk by ds and d equal to 0. 3s square, 12s plus 8. Find the roots. Minus 3.15. Now I want to check which is a valid breakaway point. So one way to check which is valid, substitute in the k expression. For whichever value, if you get k positive, it is considered as valid point. Otherwise, ये जो ब्रेकअवे पॉइंट है हमेशा रूट लोकस पे ही रहना। ब्रेकअवे पॉइंट शुड ऑलवेज लाई ऑन रूट लोकस। ये जो -3 है, क्या ये रूट लोकस पे है? इसका मतलब ये वैलिड पॉइंट नहीं है। वैलिड ब्रेकअवे पॉइंट क्या है? -0.8. Now with this information, we will see what is the root locus of this problem. So we have a pole at origin, a pole at -2, a pole at -4. From -2, we are drawing asymptotes of 60, 300, and this is 180. Because this section of real axis is root locus, this pole will terminate to infinity on 180 degree asymptote. Because this section of real axis is root locus, these two poles will be moving towards each other. Both these poles will meet at what value? 0.8. Because this -0.8 is a valid breakaway point. अब यहाँ -0.8 के पास मिलने के बाद can they go straight like this? Huh? Then how do they have to go? Either they have to go on the asymptotes or parallel to asymptotes. And a parallel to asymptotes can be above or it can be below also. Yes or no? How exactly they will go? There are other rules we have to learn. As of now, I am drawing the shape to be like this. This is how the roots are terminating to infinity along 60 and 300 degree asymptotes. What is this point called? Breakaway point. Now you compare the root locus of second order system, the root locus of third order system. यहाँ पे दो पोल्स ही है. For all values of के root locus तो left hand side में ही है. System is stable. But for the same system, by adding one more pole, the root locus has shifted to right side. इसका मतलब सिस्टम में अगर हम पोल्स ऐड कर रहे हैं, स्टेबिलिटी पे क्या असर है? Stability will decreases. And root locus, what is the effect on root locus? Whether root locus shifts to left side or root locus shifts to right side. Root locus shifts to right side. You understand? Now I am taking the same third order system. G of s is equal to k by s into s plus 2 into s plus 4. अब क्या? What is the difference you are observing? Same third order system we have taken, but what is the difference? We have added 1. Now let us see what is the effect of adding zeros to a transfer function. So rule number 2, p is 3, z is 1, p minus z is 2. Which section of real axis is a part of root locus? We have a pole at origin, 0 at minus 1, pole at minus 2, pole at minus 4. Between 0 to minus 1 is a part of root locus. Minus 2 to minus 4 is a part of root locus. Asymptote angles are 90 and 270. Centroid is sigma of real part of poles, real part of zeros, p minus z is 2. So where is the centroid line? Minus 2.5. Rule number 6 is breakaway point. So whenever you have two adjacently placed poles with a section of real axis as root locus, 100% there will be one. What is the procedure for finding breakaway point? You have to extremize k. dk by ds equal to 0. Because there is no place, I am writing directly the valid breakaway point as minus 2.8. Now you see the root locus of this problem. We have a pole at origin, we have a 0 at minus 1, we have a pole at minus 2, we have a pole at minus 4. From minus 2.5, we are drawing the asymptotes of 90 and 270. Now this section of real axis is root locus implies this pole will come and terminate at this 0. This section of real axis is root locus implies these two poles will move towards each other. Both these poles will meet at what value? Then one pole will go on 90 degree asymptote, parallel to 90 degree asymptote, and another pole will go along 270 degree asymptote, and both these poles will terminate at infinity, and this point we call it as breakaway point. Now you compare the root locus of third order system without 0, the root locus of third order system with 0. 0 ऐड करने पे ये जो root locus right side पे जा रहा है, this entire root locus which is going to right side has been pulled to left side. So what is the effect of adding zeros? Stability will increase. stability increases. And what is the effect on the shape of the locus? Whether the root locus shifts to the right side or whether the root locus shifts to the left side. Huh? Root locus shifts to left side. Root locus will shift to left side. Now if you observe, how many zeros we have added for this problem? By adding only one zero, you are making the unstable system stable. जो root locus right side पे था, the entire root locus for all values of k greater than 0, the root locus is in left side only. So by adding one zero, you are making an unstable system stable for all values of k greater than 0. Which means, if a transfer function has z greater than p, अगर zeros पोल से ज़्यादा है, इसका मतलब क्या? हाँ? It is highly stable. Highly stable का मतलब you will get 100% efficiency. 100% efficiency है. ये 100% efficiency possible है. Z greater than P भी इसलिए possible नहीं है. You can never have a system whose transfer function will have zeros greater than poles. It is always poles greater than zeros, or at the most poles equal to zeros. Mathematically also, if you talk, z greater than p means degree of numerator is greater than degree of denominator. ये improper fraction है. Degree of numerator should always be less than the degree of, at the most both should be equal, but you can never have a numerator degree greater than denominator degree. So ये जो z greater than p condition है, it does not exist. Transfer function or state model, no model will exist for z greater than p. Since the model does not exist, analysis also is not applicable when there are zeros greater than. All practical systems, their transfer functions will have p greater than z, or as I said, at the most p equal to z. Now listen first. How many branches are approaching this breakaway point? Two branches. 1, 2. If you observe, they are leaving at an angle of plus or minus 180 by 2, plus 90 and minus 90. How many branches are approaching this breakaway point? 1, 2, plus 90 and how many branches are approaching this breakaway point? 2. A tangential line drawn to the curve will be plus 90 and इसका मतलब ये जो initial angle रहेगा वो plus 90 and इसके बाद then with respect to asymptotes देगा. तो ये जो plus or minus 180 degrees by n condition जो है, ये by default it will happen when you draw shape. It will happen by itself. You need not check for it. It will happen by itself. अगर हम एक curve भी अगर हम draw कर रहे हैं, a tangential line drawn to the curve will satisfy that plus 90 and minus 90. So it will happen by default. We'll continue tomorrow. आराम से बैठ के लिखो. तो फिर से 1 o'clock से क्लास है. I have to go and eat food.